I lost I think like 70% of my blood at the time.
My first thoughts were I was shot and I'm going to die here in Gaza.
Since the beginning of the war, on October 7th, more than 3,800 IDF soldiers have been wounded in battle. I was one of them. I am now on my way to the Hadassah Hospital in Jerusalem to undergo knee surgery for an injury I sustained while serving in the Gaza Strip at the beginning of the ground operations. I'm Yair Pinto, and this is My State, a program about current events, my belief in God, and my journey in the Holy Land. עכשיו ממתינים. בוא נעשה טקסטים. בוא נסגור טקסטים. I remember the day that I was injured. It was filled with dust, as every day is in the Gaza Strip. Bombs exploding and airplanes circling around us in the skies. That's a normal day in the Gaza Strip, especially in this war. We were loading a line of Hummers with supplies and soldiers that were meant to go inside Khan Yunis. I injured my knee, and immediately after that, I felt that something was wrong. I couldn't continue with my day-to-day missions in the Gaza Strip. So I was rushing to the hospital. Despite having to go through intense physical therapy since returning home from the Gaza Strip, being in constant pain, and now this surgery, I know that I was one of the blessed ones. So many of our soldiers have gone through living hell during combat since this war began.
I was injured on the 7th of October in the attack on the Kerem Shalom base. Everything started when a lot of mortars started raining down on our base. We rushed to the shelters wearing like our pajamas and boxers. And after a while, we got the memo that there's like thousands of terrorists crossing the border. And they just came by the millions, it felt like, showering us with bullets and RPGs and grenades. An RPG exploded kind of far from me, and the shrapnel hit me here in the ribs. At the time, I didn't even feel it because of the adrenaline. And I found myself in a firefight with a few. I managed to take a few down, but then they hit me in the legs. Started bleeding a lot. And I had a friend save my life because it hit a major artery. And if he would not have placed the tourniquet on my legs, then I would not be here, probably. And from there, we waited a pretty long time until we got evacuated. I lost, I think, like 70% of my blood at the time. I passed out. And once I got to the hospital, of course, they put me to sleep for like 3 days. I had like 7 operations done on me.
Going under the knife is never fun, but I have full faith in the extraordinary medical team who have unfortunately been working around the clock since the beginning of the war, saving and rehabilitating lives. Ready to go. We're about to go to the surgery room, and thanks for all the prayers, the support, and I know and believe that it's gonna be okay.
Good treatment in the field and later in the helicopter and in the hospital saved my life. October 7th, I was in Armenia with my family, and I saw what's going on in Israel. I understood immediately that I have to leave everything and come back to my brigade. We were sitting in the middle of Gaza, and I was in charge on the defense on the area that we were in. And in that specific day, there were clashes with terrorists in few places. And I decided to go there with my team. When we got to the area, there was an RPG flying towards us. Missed us by only a few meters. So we just felt the heat and the noise and went to search for those who shot it. And I saw the terrorists in front of me. So I ran towards a place that I can shoot at them. There was plenty of shooting, and I got 5 bullets in like 1 second. I got it in my 2 legs and my lung and my shoulder. When I was evacuated, I was in very serious condition. There was bleeding, internal bleeding in the chest, and they gave me a lot of blood. 35 minutes after the injury, I was already in the operation room. They opened my chest and managed to control the bleeding. I was under anesthesia for 2 weeks and ventilation. And afterward, they woke me up and I started to breathe by myself. My wife and the doctors were around me. First thing, I was worried that if someone was injured or killed together with me, because I didn't know. They told me that nobody else was killed, that I'm okay. And then every time there were some new challenges for the rehabilitation.
On the night of October 7, seeing the devastation from the Hamas terror attacks and fearing an even greater conflict, this hospital, Hadassah Mount Scopus, made 2 critical decisions: to construct a fortified hospital on the campus that could operate even under heavy attack, and to open the new Gandel Rehabilitation Center 4 months ahead of schedule.
Since the war, we had to be very flexible and to change a little bit the way we work. So we opened a whole new department dedicated to the treatment of soldiers and citizens who have been wounded on October 7th, and also security forces, policemen. And most of our patients, they sustained injuries with bullets.
Bullets?
Yeah. Or with shrapnel. So people sustain big explosions, and then there is shrapnel going all over, and people get wounded in many places. So there's a lot of work.
So here I am getting the ingredients. She's forcing me to make pancakes. It's part of my recovery.
Today we are practicing with staff, doing some basic activity. We are trying to improve his carrying weight, stand on his left leg.
I've been here in this specific recovery center for about 4 months, a little more. But all around I've done physiotherapy, occupational therapy for almost 8 months now.
And he's working very hard. Yeah, he's a champion.
I'm now already in the hospital for 6 months and a half. It's a long time to be in hospital. I was one of the first soldiers to be here because it's a new building, new center. It's hard work here. We work every day for many hours, but the improvement is daily.
We have really state-of-the-art machines here.
What are these machines? They look super cool.
If someone has a fracture and is not allowed to pull the whole weight on his leg, he's still able to be put in this machine, which has been developed by NASA, actually.
Really?
So we call it an anti-gravity treadmill. It means that we can reduce the weight that you put on your leg to as much as 80%. And here it's a great device that enables people to walk even if they're not able to, if they sustained spinal cord injury or stroke or traumatic brain injury. This is like a robot. You put a harness on and the robot walks instead of the person.
I see.
So that's the best psychological treatment, because when someone hasn't been able to walk for 2 months and you put him on that and then he walks for half an hour, the person feels just great. You see the smile for the first time after a long time.
In the end of this week, I'm going to go from hospitalization to daily rehabilitation. Thanks to the crew here, which is very professional and very caring. From unable to move, I can do things by myself. I can walk, I'm strong.
In the inpatient ward, we've treated more than 100 soldiers until now, but many of them continue to come to the daycare twice or 3 times a week for a long period of time, usually several months.
It's hard to come here like a few times a week. I would lie if I say that I love being in hospitals, but it's important, and one day I will get out of this, and so will my friends. I have a lot of friends who are also injured. And there's a lot of brotherly love between the injured here. It doesn't matter where you served in the army, or from what walk of life you are, reserve or regular. Everyone here is like a brother to me.
And also, of course, there's the trauma, you know. They've sustained something very difficult. Often they have friends of their staff that maybe passed away or were wounded very severely. They don't sleep well. They wake up in the middle of the night with nightmares. They think about the event, like they have no control about these thoughts. We call it intrusive thoughts. Yeah. And they live it again. Me and all my friends who got hurt in some way or another see a psychologist. And that's like what we can do. We try to process it, but there's some things that you can't. You have to live with it and focus on the better parts of life. And also it changed my perspective on the people around me in this country. I feel a lot more connected to everyone, to the people who fought with me, who are like my family now. And in general, to the people of Israel. I don't regret anything. I'm, in fact, very, very happy that I was there at the time. And I fulfilled a purpose I would not get to fulfill in my life by defending the kibbutzim nearby and the country in general. I would do it 1,000,000 times, and I would also lose both of my legs. All soldiers want to return to the army just
to keep going.
They are so motivated, you know. They say, I want to go and finish the job. I have an open thing to close there, and so sometimes it's possible. Yes. But obviously, sometimes if the injury was severe, it's not possible.
The most important thing for me is that Israel will be fine. We'll do everything needed and win in this war. And it will be a safe place for me and my children.
So I'm just out of the emergency room. And surgery was a success, according to the doctors and the nurses that talked to me just now. I'm still a bit dozed from waking up. So guys, I wanted to ask you to join us in sharing the truth of really what is happening in Israel. IDF soldiers are fighting Hamas terrorists on a day-to-day basis. And many of us get injured in the process. It's important to know that this is a battle that none of us want. This terrorist organization want to destroy the state of Israel, and the world should know that this evil ideology plans to spread to the rest of the world, to the United States, to Europe. So please help us share the truth by subscribing to this YouTube channel and sharing our videos on social media. It helps us reach more and more people. Thank you for all of your support and all of your prayers.
We live in such a world, you know, when black is white and white is black and everything is upside down, and you hear such terrible things about us. So we're so moved that people really care about us and pray for us.
I really, really appreciate all the love. That is, I think, the best someone can do outside of Israel. Just supporting us, showing that they care, showing that they stand with us. Like, showing that they don't fall to ignorance and lies.
Some people in the West are very confused about who is the good and who is the evil. I think that this war is like a Second World War. If we want to win this war, it will go for the all of the Western world. Those evil people feel the success, and it will become much greater. So my message is that we are not fighting only our war. We are fighting war for much more people than Israel or the Jewish people.
So usually in this part of the episode, I'm asking you guys to join me in prayer for the IDF soldiers, for the peace of Jerusalem. And I'm doing it standing up or sitting down. But now I'm gonna do it lying down. I wanted to say really thank you. Thank you for your prayers for the IDF, for the state of Israel, and also for me personally throughout this journey that I've been with you guys in the Gaza Strip, in the northern border, and now in recovery in the hospital from my injury. So keep it up. It really, really makes a difference. Prayer works. So thank you, and keep praying for the peace of Jerusalem.
Hello, this is Mati here in Jerusalem with TBN Israel.
This is Yair Pinto from TBN Israel here in Jerusalem. TBN Israel is keeping viewers informed with Israel-focused news, culture, and what God is doing in this land.
Support TBN Israel today online at tbn.org/Israel. Thank you.